Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the different kind of makeup products that I bring when I'm traveling while also doing my makeup for the day. Now, I'm not going anywhere particularly interesting. I just really have a fun time with this look. So yeah, enjoy! So I'm going to start off with my pre-makeup routine. Usually I start with some micellar water, and this one is the simple micellar water. I also bring this along with me when I travel. I've been using it for years, but then I did stop halfway. However, I do like to bring this because, you know, if I wear light makeup and I don't really need like a cloth to remove the makeup, I just use this. Then after that, I go in with my Thayer's Witch Hazel alcohol-free toner. The one I bring is the rose one, but the one I'm using now is cucumber. So I don't really know what the difference between them is. I guess they both have different benefits, but then I also like bringing the toner along with me. So after I tone my face with the Witch Hazel, I use this Labo Super Keana Lotion. I don't really bring this along with me. I only started using it again recently, and so far I have nothing negative to say about it, but I also don't have anything positive to say about it. Then I also bring a moisturizer with me. You guys know that I really love my SPF moisturizers, which I'm gonna put on my face right now. This is from Supergoop. It's the Daily Moisturizer SPF 40. I'm thinking of switching up the moisturizer that I use. I probably might go back to CeraVe if I find it. So these are all essentials that I do bring every time I travel. The first one is concealer. Now, I know I missed out foundation, but that's usually because I don't really like bringing foundation with me. I don't really use foundation anyway, except for when there are special events that are gonna happen where I go. This time, especially when the trip is short, I don't really bring foundation because I don't like wearing too much makeup when I'm traveling anyway. So yes, first is concealer. I bring like 3 to 4 different concealers. It's so whack. Last summer when I went to Europe, I had to put my makeup inside of a plastic bag because they have to, you know, monitor your liquids when you go through security. And I had like 3 different concealers in the bag, and I was like, that was the moment I realized like that is way too many concealers. But now I might even be bringing 4 because my sister just gave me this Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer that is super coverage, and I use this with my Fenty Beauty one, which I'm also going to be bringing with me when I travel. Yeah, so she gave me this concealer, which I really am enjoying. I do like it a lot. It's not as tacky, I realized, as the Fenty Beauty concealer, which is actually something I prefer. I'm also gonna go in and fill the same spots with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r concealer. And that's like the second concealer that I bring along with me. The third one is my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, which is for my under eyes. And the last concealer is the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. It's also for my under eyes. I got the fairest shade just to add a little brightening to my under eyes, and I bring this all the time. Now I'm gonna blend with my Morphe sponge. I don't usually like bringing the sponges when I travel because I don't like using the sponge when it's dirty. I have to clean it every single time before I use it. And yeah, I feel like sponges are very terrifying to bring, especially since they're like damp all the time, or you have to dampen them all the time, and I'm just afraid that it would have molds in it or something like that. After that, I'm gonna go ahead with powder. The powder that I usually use and bring is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder. The one I have right now is like running out, but I have a new one. Oh, and I have here the Real Techniques powder brush. Usually I do bring this brush. I switch up between this and the e.l.f. Total Face brush. And usually before I travel, I like to clean my brushes and make sure that they're not dirty before I travel. But I haven't had the time to clean up any of my brushes recently. Yeah, so like I said, the Too Faced Born This Way concealer is not that tacky, so I don't apply as much powder like I would if I were using just the Fenty Beauty concealer. I'm gonna get my Beauty Bakerie Flower Setting Powder and I'm just gonna apply that on my under eyes. I'm debating whether I should bring this or not because I really like how it keeps my mascara intact, and also it doesn't really smudge my mascara or my eyeliner, which I like, and that's why I've kind of gone back with the Colourpop volumizing mascara, which I talked about in my I don't use this anymore video, because my biggest issue is that it's smudged. But after I used the Beauty Bakerie setting powder, I realized that it didn't smudge as much as it used to. So I'm thinking if I should bring this, and I most likely will. And yeah, I use my fingers to apply it because it's a huge mess if I use a brush, and I feel like I can get more product in with my finger. So now I'm gonna let this bake for I guess until the end. I don't really time how long I bake for. And then I'm gonna grab my eyeshadow, an eyeshadow primer. Usually when I travel, I do bring my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, and I also bring my Modern Renaissance Anastasia Beverly Hills palette with me every time. And sometimes when I want to bring another palette, I bring the Colourpop Brown Sugar one. And I also bring my favorite Colourpop Super Shock Shadow, which is in the shade Ritz. But then for my makeup look today, I'm gonna be using my Colourpop I Think I Love You palette for my look. And I'm gonna be getting this shiny brown shade. I don't know what it's called. These are like the palettes that didn't have the name under the color. And I'm just gonna grab a flat brush to apply this. This is from my Naked 3 palette, and I'm just gonna gently apply this on my eyelids. So after that, I'm gonna be applying eyeliner. I'm gonna go in with this Ulta Beauty Duo eyeliner. I usually just like using the brown part. I don't really use the black part too much. And speaking of eyeliner, I do like bringing eyeliner when I travel. I especially need it with my falsies, which I'm also going to be bringing. And along with that, I'm going to also bring my Duo glue. Now, the eyeliner I usually bring is this one, the Ulta Beauty one, and also I like bringing in the liquid eyeliner. The last time I traveled, I brought the Fenty Beauty one, but just in case, I'm also going to bring the NYX one that I mentioned in my I don't use these products video anymore. So now I'm just going to be applying this brown eyeliner, and I'm going to be applying that on my eye, obviously. And I'm going to be blending it out with this angled brush from the My Little Pony Colourpop collection. And I also really like bringing angled brushes just so that I could blend out my eyeliner. What I usually do for pencil liners is either I directly apply it to my eye and then I blend it out with the angled brush, or I put the product on the angled brush and then I apply it on my eye. Anyway works, really. Usually if I want to wing it out, I realize that I have to apply the product onto the brush. I really think that applying eyeliner is the most boring part. I mentioned earlier that I do bring mascara. I will be bringing my Colourpop volumizing mascara since I'm okay with it now that you know, the setting powder saved my life. So I'm going to be bringing this with me. Now this is the part where I dust off the setting powder. I'm going to be using my Real Techniques setting brush to just brush that off. And I most likely will be bringing this. Like my other Real Techniques brush, I often switch up between this and a similar brush that I have from Colourpop. So after I've brushed that off, I'm just going to go back with my mascara and apply some on my under eyes. And and I'm already folding it, but the next thing, I always bring my bronzer, especially if I'm going to a cold, wintry country. I like looking bronzed out like it's the summer still. And I really love this. I can't get over the chocolate smell. And the brush I usually bring along with this is this Spicy Choco brush, which I really love. It's always blending out my bronzer really well. The next product that I always bring is highlighter. You guys know how much I love the Bretman Rock Morphe Babe in Paradise palette, and I only use like pretty much 3 shades, but I don't care. I would buy it again if I run out of my favorite 3 shades. And I usually use this with my Modern Renaissance brush. I use the bigger one for my cheeks, and then the smaller one for my nose and eyebrow bone. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, I realized that I have not yet applied my brows. Usually I bring my Benefit Browsings, and I also bring my spoolie and angled brush from Morphe. But sometimes when I'm in a rush, I just like to apply the Benefit Gimme Brow, and I'm gonna bring these 2 with me. So I did my brows off cam, and now I'm going to set my face with my MAC Fix Plus Prep and Prime Setting Spray. I also always bring this around with me. I can't not set my face because I never feel secure if I don't set my face. And last but not least, I always have to bring this to every trip, lipstick. I always bring a different lipstick depending on how many days I stay in the destination. Usually if it's 5 days, I bring 5 different lipsticks and so on. But my top picks are the Colourpop Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Monday, in the shade Bumble. I also like to bring my MAC lipstick in the shade Sin. I also like bringing my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fenty Glow. And usually I like to pair that off with my Too Faced Peach lipstick. And I also love bringing my Colourpop Bretman Rock Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Wig. It's a really nice red color, and I feel like it stays on my lip all day. I barely reapply it throughout the day, and that's what I'm going to be wearing today. Usually for red lipsticks, less is more, and I never learn my lesson. So yeah, that is all the makeup that I bring every time I travel. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!